Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm Jarret Johnson. I'm joined by the mighty Joe Yeager. Mighty Joe, man, big season opening victory for Texas Tech, 38-21 over Houston. We knew that was going to be like a huge game, and then after that they'd have two, let's be honest, cupcakes. FCS opponent in Stephen F. Austin, and then Florida International coming up the week after that. But first up, Stephen F. Austin this week. I posted just a kind of quick scouting report on them. I tell you one thing, there's no doubt they brought back almost their entire roster. It was like 73 lettermen or something like that, and 21 of 22 starters. Yeah. So, and then they brought in some transfers, just like everybody else. Get hit in that transfer portal. They brought in some guys from the Division I level, who could play some football at the skill position.
Yeah. I mean, that's the experience. That's what SFA has. I mean, that's the one thing. If they have any sort of a glimmer of a hope in this game, that's what they count on. Mm-hmm. Is that this is a cohesive team, a team that plays together. They know each other. They've been through the battles before, so maybe they're not going to fall apart. Maybe they can hang in there and keep the game competitive. That's what they're hoping for. Because I mean, obviously, in terms of athletes. In terms of talent, size. It's not size, speed, you name it. It's not a matchup at all. Yeah. So, I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Houston Baptist type deal. I mean, it was a completely different circumstance. Right. It was a confluence of things that went in there to Tech almost getting upset there. Their quarterback is not Bailey Zappi. They have some nice skill position players, but I mean, Tech should roll by 40 points in this game or something like that. It should be one of those where they just blow them out. So, with that being said, what do you want to see from this game?
Yeah, I think, what's interesting always in these sorts of games is, the big question is, well, are you going to take these guys lightly? Or are you going to... And look, and the coaches always have the same response. No, we're not going to take these guys lightly. We respect all of our opponents. This is a good team. They've got experience, and I know this coach, and he's a really good coach. And, they say all the positive things. And, that number 5 they got at linebacker, he can really play, you hear all this stuff. But the bottom line is, it is so much human nature, not just the players, but the coaches as well, to say that, man, especially coming off of that win over Houston, where that was when you were sweating it for a while against a legitimate, pretty tough opponent. Okay, well, all right, we can relax. We got that one out of the way. Now we're taking on little old Stephen F. Austin. And so, how do you fight against that? I mean, and you can't really. No. I don't think. I mean, there's some of that letdown, some of that taking these guys lightly. That's just going to come into to play. And I think the only thing that you really do is try to mitigate it as much as you can so that you don't overlook them so much that you actually put yourself in a little bit of danger. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's just kind of the most interesting aspect of these sorts of games. And occasionally you do see something crazy happen. I mean, look, Montana, who did they beat? Washington?
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Yeah, it was the worst. A lot of the Washington fans were saying it's the worst loss in the
school history. Yeah, I can believe it. So, crazy things happen. I don't think that's remotely going to happen here. But, I mean, that's the one thing that as a coach, you're kind of like, that can give you a little bit of worry.
They have a small defensive front. And I just feel like if there's any kind of concern or if it gets close or something like that, they could just simply line up and hand it to any of their backs and be able to win. I know I don't want it to, I don't want to jinx Tech. I don't want it to be one of those, well, you said it was impossible, but I just find it hard to believe that this game's going to be close. Yeah. So with that being said, I want to see very little injuries, and I want them to never be in doubt so that Tech can really play their roster, some of their young guys, and get them some snaps. Because those guys, now you can play up to 4 games and still redshirt. Yes. So I really this is an opportunity to do that. So, and I think there's opportunity for a letdown, but it's also one thing to think about emotionally. It's the season opener, or home opener, and last year they didn't get the full crowd. Mm-hmm. So I know these players are really excited to get to play in front of, hopefully, a pretty packed Jones.
So.
I understand it's Stephen F. Austin, but it is the home opener. So if they can play in front of at least 55,000 or something like 50 to 55,000 fans, that would be I think that would help them emotionally get over any kind of letdown.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's a 6:00 game,
It's fun.
so which is good because you don't have the red hot sun blasting you.
Yeah.
I mean, even the guys on the east side are going to get some shade early
Y'all
on.
gonna be liquored up too from the hotel games.
Oh, that'll never happen, Jared.
Yeah, 12-ounce girls.
Right. So it's a good setup. I mean, everybody should go out there and check this out because it's a pretty good looking, entertaining Texas Tech football team as well.
If you're saying it, it must be true. That's for sure. So great stuff from you, Money Joe, as always. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.